Talk about NBA, and we saw that Joel Embiid went for 70 last night. So Zoo kind of also wanted to bring up what was going on with that, and some of our projections of what we're gonna see in, I guess, when is it? What does it get revealed? The 25th, I think. Is it
about a month out? Yeah,
a month out.
About a month.
They just opened voting.
Yeah, they opened voting.
They opened voting on the 25th. Or is it already open? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's already open.
Okay.
Yeah, they're asking picks for starters right now currently.
Yeah, so we're gonna kind of look at and project who we think our starters for the NBA All-Star Game is going to be. In Zoo, I'm going to let you start this topic off.
Man, for this, man, I'm sorry, Chicago Bulls, 0 All-Stars, 0 All-Star starters. The team's been a little better than I thought after a brutal start losing to the Detroit Pistons, one of the worst teams in the history of basketball. But I'm on the Eastern All-Stars, man. Not gonna lie, I feel like there's a bunch of locks, no-brainers usually every year. Joel Embiid is having one of the greatest regular seasons of all time. Joel Embiid is averaging he's averaging more points per minute right now. More points per minute. He's on a Wilt Chamberlain tear right now, averaging 35 points a game. A feat that Harden, Kobe Bryant, and Wilt Chamberlain. This is the company that Joel Embiid is in. So shout out to Nick Nurse. Shout out to Joel Embiid for bouncing back after a playoff defeat and becoming better than his MVP season. Because right now, he's on pace probably to win an MVP this year again. So
he's playing Jokic.
Exactly. So I got Joel Embiid obviously starting. Giannis, this dude's a lock every single year he plays basketball right now in his prime. Jason Tatum. So the front court in the East, absolutely dominant. These guys are all future Hall of Famers. No
brainer. Have all three same.
Exactly. The backcourt, it hurts me to say this, man. Should have been a Chicago Bull. Point God himself, Tyrese Halliburton, man. This dude is unbelievable. The dude gets 20 assist games with 0 turnovers. That is actually unheard of. He's done it multiple times. This guy just never turns the ball over. And this guy just reminds me of what the hype for Lonzo Ball was. The amount of hype that Lonzo Ball got in the draft process about this guy's the next Jason Kidd. We're seeing it right now. It's Magic Johnson. Tyrese Halliburton is that point guard that pushes the floor up. He goes off ball. Yep. He can shoot the three, even though his three is really ugly. This guy has changed the Indiana Pacers team where Pascal Siakam was willing to re-sign for the Indiana Pacers because of Tyrese Halliburton, because he's going to give him the ball, put him in the easy spot. So Tyrese Halliburton has changed the franchise.
And he's put Miles Turner back on the map as a
Miles Turner, everyone everyone that plays with Halliburton is going to get paid because he gets them in the right spot. So shout out to Tyrese for balling out. He got a $200 million contract, so he's easy too. This second guard position, there's some options there. Donovan Mitchell, this guy's been good every year. I love Donovan Mitchell, but I'm going with the Knick, man. Jalen Brunson, man. Every time I see Jalen Brunson ball out, I still remember that playoffs where he had his coming out party when him and Luka were dominating the ball as 1A and 1B, beating the Phoenix Suns. I was like, this guy's the real deal. And they messed up that whole situation because he was going to get paid $15 million a year. And this guy, after his contract with the Knicks, is going to get close to $200 million.
He's still underpaid. Yeah.
Currently right now, he's getting paid $20-something million plus right now. Yeah, exactly. So he's getting paid below $30 million. And this guy stats, if you look at his stats, 27-7, 4 rebounds, 48% shooting. Dude, he's shooting 42% from 3. This guy is leading this franchise as a 6'2" guard. He's one of the best, smaller miniature guys I've ever seen. Because this guy in the playoffs also balls out. He's not just a regular season dude. Mm-hmm. He's physically very strong. He's a smaller, stocky dude. But this guy is a leader. He's the playmaker, and he's the number one option on this team. So Jalen Brunson for
Julius.
Me. Stop it.
Listen, he's so good that they got rid.
Oh man,
he's so good that they got rid of R.J. Barrett, who was supposed to be that guy.
Emmanuel Quickly. So got rid of a point guard who's pretty good. IQ was pretty good, and R.J. Barrett because they're we got one lefty that's dominating the ball, and his name's Jalen Brunson. So Jalen Brunson for me, lock it in with Tyrese Halliburton as my backcourt.
Wow. Zoo, I got the same 4, except I'm going with Donovan Mitchell over Brunson because of the injuries they've been dealing with, and he still has him as a top 4 seed in the East, and he's averaging nearly 29 a
28,
game.
yeah, yep,
28, 29 a game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, just doing it all, just carrying this team against, teams like the Pacers that, were very hot early in the beginning. They've cooled off just a little bit, but they're still hanging around. I got to give it to Donovan Mitchell on that, but Embiid, Giannis, absolute locks. Tatum also a lock. Best team in the league. Got to give at least one starter that is worthy of it. And Tyrese Haliburton, man, completely echoing everything you got. He makes everybody around him way better. I mean, Benedict Mathurin, right? We've talked about him too. Obviously, Siakam coming in. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, it's just impressive to watch this team play. They have a bright future, man. They got a bright future.
Yeah. Shout out.
I do wonder real quick with Siakam. I wonder if it was because he was rumored to go to a couple of teams. I wonder if it was more so of not saying Haliburton was a factor, but was it more so of like, okay, I know Indiana's going to be the team to give me the max.
Yeah, that too. They had
because I love Haliburton, but I think it's probably if I had to put a scale on it, it's probably like 60% Haliburton and like 40%. Oh yeah, this team's gonna pay me after the season, regardless of what happens. Because they need a second star, which I wouldn't be mad at it. Yeah. I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah, he's a dynamic wing guy. They can play defense as a complimentary guy. He doesn't have to be the number one dude. Yeah, so like
slasher.
I just thought about that.
Yeah, but that's Tyrese, man. But over the West, man,
this is tough.
Yeah, it's a little tougher than the East. The East, for me, in my mind, it was 4 automatically and one I'd think a little more about. But locking the Joker, man. This dude's still the best player in basketball. I know Joel Embiid is, I would say, having a slightly better regular season based on just the point production is just so absurd. Like, it's so astronomical what he's doing. But Nikola Jokic is still the best player, most impactful player in basketball.
Triple-double again.
Near triple-double every night. Him and Jamal Murray is just still being a dynamic duo. Still a top 3 seed in the West. So no drop-off from NBA championship from last year. So Joker, lock it in. Backcourt for me is pretty easy too. I'm putting in Luka Doncic, Mr. Don himself, man. Don Luka, he's automatically in there. He's having a career season already, 32-8-8. 32-8-8. Those are just, he's going to be all NBA first team again. And I got to give it to OKC SGA as the number 2 guard. Dude, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, like his midi, he got a midi, man. He got that weird like in between game. Like he's not like an explosive athlete, but he got that twitchiness too. Like him and Luka got that different type of athleticism, not traditional athleticism like high flies, but that twitchy left to right athleticism. And he's leading this OKC team to the 2nd seed while putting up 31 points, 6 assists, playing amazing defense. Like SGA is a 2-way player. No, Sean, I remember when we had a debate about this years ago when this is before SGA blew up. It was like SGA or Zach LaVine. Would you do that trade? And I was like, ooh, yeah, I think I got to do that trade. Now it's a no-brainer, man. SGA. Oh, my. This dude has ascended. Zach LaVine has plateaued and dropped off. SGA has just climbed from a star to an all-star, perennial all-star, to a superstar. Like, shout out to Sam Presti for getting this guy when he was averaging 10 points a game. 10 points a game. So shout out to Sam Presti again. He took the entire Clippers' future and a future superstar from them. Like, he took their future and a superstar. Like, Jesus Christ, Sam Presti. How did you know? So I got to put that as my backcourt. And my forward position, I'm still putting King James in there. I'm putting LeBron in there. Like, obviously, this is not peak prime LeBron, but still averaging 25, 7-7. Lakers, to me, are definitely underperforming this year. Like, they just are. They're a 500 ball club. Like, I had them more of a 45-ish win team, so a couple games above 500. So they're at 500 right now. Like, even like 80's been healthy all year, so that's not even an excuse. Like, 80's like not been injured. So like, they've been relatively healthy, like role players being injured, whatever, it happens to everyone. So they've been a little disappointment, but I'm still putting LeBron in that starting lineup because LeBron's getting voted in as the
legacy
captain.
pick.
So LeBron's a legacy pick, but he's still not a scrub. Like, he's still, I would say, around
24-7-7.
Yeah, still exactly. So, and in the playoffs, like, this dude's still gonna be balling out there. So I'm putting Bron in there. But that last forward position, Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant are on my list right now. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant. Right now, like I just witnessed Kevin Durant hit a game winner on my Chicago Bulls last night. Double clutch, Alex Caruso behind him. Patrick Williams hand in the face. He did not have a full motion. I'm like, oh, terrific defense. That's a brick. He swishes it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Katie. Like easy money sniper, man. I'm just like, this guy is putting up 29 points easy right now. And now the Suns are completely healthy because if you look at the record, 25-18, I'm like, okay, like I had them having way more wins this year. They're at 58%. I have them in that 60-plus winning percentage, so they're getting healthier now. So I can't even say they're underperforming that much because of the injuries. But you look at the Clippers too, man. With Kawhi Leonard, like shout out to James Harden because James Harden has turned this team around.
Who would have thought you'd say that?
That start when they were, I believe they
yeah.
lost like their first 5 games of James Harden trying to get the chemistry down. They had to bench Russell Westbrook. But now James Harden as the point guard of the team, sitting with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, like it's been nothing's been easier for Kawhi Leonard. Like the only things Kawhi Leonard statistically has not blown me away. Like 24 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 52% shooting. Like the only statistic that's blown me away is that this guy's actually playing some games this year. Like there's no load management.
Him and AD
none of that. Yeah, none of that buffoonery. Like so, like Kawhi Leonard is still like this guy, two-way player in the playoffs. I'm scared of Kawhi Leonard. Like this team has legitimate chance of winning a championship up there with the Denver Nuggets. I have them as number 2 contender in the West right now. So Kawhi Leonard, KD, I'm putting in KD still. I'm putting in Kevin Durant.
I thought that was going to be. You did all that. I knew it was going to be KD.
I'm just looking at the objective numbers, and KD has also stepped up his defense too. So I can't just say he's not trying on defense. He stepped up his defense. Got to send a message to his team that we got to play the defensive end under Frank Vogel to get it done. But Kevin Durant over Kawhi Leonard is my last spot.
I got
and real quick. I mean, KD just because of his mere presence, Grayson Allen is a 50, 40, 90 guy on the team. So I mean, hey. Look at that. Look at that little stat. Just with KD being on the team. Look at that. Grayson Allen's going to get paid all season.
Shots because they got to double team him from front and back, and he still makes it. No, man. I got literally the exact same, man. Joker, absolute lock. He's on that Embiid, Giannis level of locking in every single year. LeBron, I have as the legacy pick, man. I think, like you said, man, it's like Yao Ming getting in all the China votes, man. I mean, it's just an absolute lock. SGA and Luka, absolute monsters. I think the only one I even somewhat consider, just because the Mavericks haven't been playing the greatest team basketball, they've been all right. Zoo. They're what, the 8th seed in the West right now?
They've kind of exceeded expectations more than I thought.
Yeah, they're the 8th seed, but it's like they're between half a game is very clumped up from 5 to 8 between one game.
The only one I considered, and I just don't think you can do it just because of Luka's numbers individually, is Anthony Edwards, just because of what he's been doing with Minnesota at number 1.
He's got him as a number 1 seed, though.
He's got him to the number 1 seed. I know Gobert's been great, and Cat's finally got his roll down, which is
Cat went off last night.
Jesus, yeah, he did.
62.
Jesus.
But, he got – unfortunately, no one's going to be talking about it because of what Embiid did. But, typical Karl Anthony Towns, man.
And they lost, too. And they lost, too, to the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte Hornets. And they were that
the season.
Jesus, yeah.
But yeah, man, and I would not, and to be fair, I would not be putting him in over SGA. I would be putting him in over Luka. But once again, Luka's kind of getting to that lock of a pick, so I can't put him over.
No,
Luka.
He's averaging 34, 9, and 9 on 48% shooting.
It's the numbers. That's what I'm saying. But I like to value the ad of the team that's doing the best. I know he has.
Yeah, they do have the number 1 seed.
He doesn't really have much help.
Yeah. Okay,
their head coach is going
to
no, they don't do that anymore. But either way, he's going to be easily a reserve. He needs to be a reserve.
Yep.
He's probably the top reserve, if I were to guess. But, man, I got to go with Kawhi over Kevin Durant. I just think, to your point, Zoo, I'm shocked. I'm just shocked he's playing. He's playing. He actually deserves to be in an all-star game, not just being voted in as a legacy guy because of his name. I'm actually most impressed at his efficiency. 52% for any wing player is impressive no matter what kind of game you play. And to your point, he's making – and James Harden obviously has a huge role in this too.
Yep,
but he keeps that camaraderie. He's the two-way player. Yes, Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant, and it's hard for me to pass up on him. I'm a huge Durant fan, always have been. But I'm just got to ride with Kawhi this year. I think he deserves to get an all-star starting nod just because of all the stuff he's been going through with his injuries and load management and all that stuff over the years. So I agree with you on 8 of your 10 all-star starter picks, Zoo, and both the guys that you have, I have them as flipped. So Kevin Durant would probably be my closest to take the front court position for Kawhi, and Brunson was close to taking from Donovan Mitchell in the East at the backcourt position.
Interesting.
Those two things I would say, especially when it comes to Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, even though James Harden was in consideration, I'm interested.
You say James Harden? You
just
mean Jalen Brunson?
No, I'm talking about like
No, he's
just
just talking
those
about-
two guys that we mentioned just now, talking about All-Star and all that type of stuff. I'm interested to see in the latter half of the season how it turns out and going into the playoffs, because I do feel like with Donovan Mitchell, the reason why he's playing this well is because he's reverting back to how he's playing in Utah. I need to see him do this when he's playing with Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, all the guys healthy. Because like now he's just running around chucking up shots, and he knows he's the number one guy, so he's comfortable doing that, and he's winning. But that's the same thing that happened in Utah. He was winning, and then he ends up getting ousted in the playoffs. And then with James Harden, we've seen the script before. Like he did the same thing in Brooklyn. He got there at first. He was playing point guard with KD and Kyrie.
He was awesome though. He was awesome over the injuries.
It was awesome.
He was awesome.
Injuries killed it. Same thing happened in Philly. He came in. Joel Embiid was putting up great numbers,
awesome.
and he was going crazy. And it's like that first ingratiated period. Now you see the same thing happen with the Clippers. It's like I've been watching it because I'm like, yeah, the Clippers have been balling, but they got the Dallas Cowboys syndrome. Like I gotta see you. I gotta see them get over the hump. So I want to see how the honeymoon happens because in the playoffs,
Okay, James Harden easy with that compared to the Dallas Cowboys, man. Because the one thing that the
did get
Cowboys
to a conference
don't have.
Finals.
The Cowboys don't have is they don't got that franchise guy. Like Dak Prescott, he ain't that guy. Kawhi Leonard, if healthy, is that guy. They have the number one guy on a championship.
But you think James Harden thinks that?
Oh, he doesn't have to. Jace Holder's number three option right now.
I got almost guarantee, and he's not deferring to Kawhi in the playoffs. He won't.
Oh, yes, he is. Absolutely. You know why? Wait.
Or
you know why?
What do you mean? Like what? Hey, KD's won twice.
Yeah, but
like,
Kawhi
what?
just has to like put his palm on Harden's face, and then they'll be like, okay.
Kawhi didn't have the personality, I feel like, though, to like mix it up. Like I'm just saying, just beware. We've seen this with Harden. We've seen this story with Harden with better talent. Because I would rather have KD and Kyrie than injure Kawhi and injure Paul George. Like we've seen this script with James, so we just got to be careful. We can't hop up and say they're going to be like you said. They got the talent, but I mean, the Clippers have always had the talent. They just don't ever. They're not clutch. And I'll give credit to Russell. He's playing ball. He's playing the right way. I got to give him credit for that. He's taking
him going to the bench. Ty Lue in the playoffs. They just got to pray they're healthy because
they have an elite coach. Right.
This is the best, I would say, Clippers talent team ever. I think in the modern era, like the CP3 Blake Griffin, the Kawhi Leonard first iteration, the Kawhi Leonard Paul George roster. But I feel like this version right now, obviously, that big asterisk, that healthy. That's a huge asterisk. Who knows if some Paul George gets nicked up or Kawhi gets nicked up again. But they go in the playoffs healthy, and they play against my favorite to come out, the Denver Nuggets. Oh, I'll be real nervous. I'm going to be real nervous.
They have nobody.
Nuggets have to play against the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, they can't.
Jokic is going to go crazy. They'll go
Jokic's going to get his. But
he's also gonna get some people theirs. That's another thing about Jokic. Like, and two, it's like he's gonna get all those other guys there. Them like the only team in Denver. Like I'm telling you, the only team that's scary in the playoffs is Minnesota. They got everything now, and everybody's playing their role. Like, I just went for 62. Like he's not, and plus two, he went for 62. Along with he still knows. Guess what? I went for 62. This is Ant's team. He's not like now said, okay, now I need to get 62 every night. He just had a 62.9. That's the scary thing. We can talk about that. Yeah. But I mean, look, everybody in the NBA, it's so much time in the NBA, you're gonna lose games. Like I say, in the play, like there's certain teams that like, and not Minnesota hadn't lost a lot, so they're different. But like to me, I think the majority of teams outside of like the OKCs, like the teams that are young and run and gun. Like to me, if I'm older teams and I'm veteran teams, I just need to get in that top 8. If I can get in that top 8, that means I probably have to play a playing game, and we'll talk about this later on. But like, you play a playing game, you get one game, you win that, you get into the playoffs. Like a lot of this other stuff with the later teams, it's proving grounds for them. So like to me, it's a marathon about the NBA. Now, if you're flirting in that 9 to 10 range, that's scary because then it's like if you lose a game, you're out of the playoffs. But like if you're any of these veteran teams that's maybe sluggish, like you see how Phoenix, LA, all those other teams like the Lakers. Just get in that top 8. If you get in the top 8, you just got to win that one play and then you're in. And then once you get into the playoffs, that's when, as we see, like, and this is the same. We see this every year. Like we get everybody, and I'm getting guilty with this. We all get hyped with these younger teams that are killing in the regular season. But when it comes playoff time, it's about the veteran leadership and teams that have been around the block.
Yeah.
And until like a team breaks through, like they have to break through. Now, if you get lucky in these veteran teams, like you say, with the plan, this is why, like I said, I was a hater on the plan, but like with the plan, I'm excited about it because now, even if you're a veteran team and you get in that top 7 through 10, if you're in that 9 and 10 and you lose, you're out. So like you can't say like, well, we were a veteran. No, you lost, so you're out. So now the team that played well in the regular season, they're going to be able to get in and prove themselves, like the younger team, like say a Utah Jazz, for instance. Like if they get matched up with the Lakers or get matched up with I don't know who's in the 7 or 8, whatever, like who's in that, whatever, you get matched up and they beat them, like, well, sorry, Utah's going because they're hungrier. So it's like, we'll see with that. But there's a couple, like I said, Donovan and James, we've seen this script before, so we'll see.
NBA.
Yeah, definitely. We got plenty of team. I'm probably going to cut this up into a 2-part podcast, so I'll have something to give people to look at once, that little dead period in between the Super Bowl and whatever, I guess. Like I said, like a week, I'll have something to put like 2 podcasts up that week, so. Like you said, you guys, we're going to be talking. You see how excited we were talking about the NBA. We're going to be talking about that All-Star Weekend, all the type of stuff that comes with that. Like I said, football conference championship is the focus. Make sure you look at us on Tyson Talks Podcast _ on Instagram. We're on TikTok with the same username. YouTube, Quantro knows we're putting up clips. We're putting up YouTube shorts. Make sure you guys go like the videos because it gets in more people's algorithms so they can see the content that we're showing. Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple. Like I said, we're on iHeart now. And for me, Zoo, and P-Bush, we are out.